Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. This is the day 2 of JavaScript Bootcamp. Okay, JavaScript Bootcamp day 2. We're starting the session, but still I am waiting for some more people to be joined. Okay, session will start soon. Okay, let us continue our session. Let us start the journey. So as I have discussed, in this session I am going to discuss about the coding part. That means whatever the project we are going to design, that is what mini expense monitor, or you can say offline budget app. Now in this app what will happen, and the basic principle, what are the features, what is the concept, what it will do, and what are the technologies we are going to use, that all I have discussed in the last session. Today onwards I am going to start the coding part directly, and as I have discussed, as I have told, I am going to use the AI tools, okay, like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, like this. And already I have mentioned that VS Code and Node.js should be installed, okay, otherwise it will be difficult to handle the project. Fine. So first ensure that Node.js is installed or not. Just open command prompt and type node, enter. If you are getting this type of prompt, that means node is installed successfully. Okay, and obviously I have installed VS Code, yes, recently. Fine. Now what is my task? First I am going to create a new folder, so it will be our app. So I'm giving JavaScript, I'm giving JavaScript bootcamp. Okay, the name JavaScript bootcamp or codecamp, whatever. By the way, here I am creating another folder that will be our workspace. Okay, I'm going to create all the files here only. Okay, now new folder, this will be our project. Okay, or you can give any name actually. Now what you have to do, you have to open this folder in the VS Code. Fine, you have to open this folder in the VS Code. Now what I can do is just right click and you can see open with code, this option. In my system it is coming because whenever I am going to install the VS Code, there is some option like context path. I checked that, that's why this option is coming. If this option is not coming in your system, no problem, just copy the file path, open VS Code first. Fine, then what you have to do, just file and open folder. Okay, now select this folder and it is opened. Fine. Otherwise if it is if this option is coming in your system, right click and then open with code, then just click on it, it will directly open the folder in the VS Code. Okay, no need to worry. Now what you have to do, just click, just in the keyboard you press control backtick. Fine, control backtick. Now you will get this terminal, you will get this terminal. First you have to change this PowerShell into command prompt. Fine, so that's why we have drop down here, you select uh, what is the command prompt. Yes, this is the command prompt. Fine, now click on this. Yeah, this is the command prompt. Okay, now this terminal is on command prompt. Now here you write npm init. What it will do, it will initialize our project folder. Okay, so that it can be it can look like a JavaScript HTML CSS based project. Okay, fine. Actually internally what it will do, it will create some basic files. Okay, some project related configuration file. Let's see, npm init and enter. Now it will ask several questions, you can skip or you can give the answer. Okay, now see what are the questions. Yeah, first it is asking for package name. or project. Okay, already I have told you this is our project name. So mini expense monitor. Remember, it is always recommended don't give spaces. Don't give spaces whenever you are giving this type of package name. So what I am doing, I am just giving hyphen. Okay, or you can give underscore, no problem. Now press enter. No longer contain capital code. Yeah, so we cannot keep capital now, capital letters also. So what I have to do, this all capital or caps I am giving in small letter. Fine. So mini hyphen expense hyphen monitor version. Initially it is always recommended go for this default version 1.0.0. Then description, if you want you can give description. Actually these all field you can ignore. Okay, but it is recommended. So what it will do, actually mini expense monitor, this is nothing but a project. A project, the description is what, a project for personal, for personal uh, what we can say, a project for personal budget monitoring. Okay, monitoring, enter. Entry point index, just index.js, fine, no problem. Test command not needed. Git repository not required. Keywords not required. Author, obviously everyone wants to give their name, so that's why I'm giving my name. Okay, you can ignore, actually all these fields you can ignore. License not required in this moment. Fine, now you can see it is giving this type of JSON. Okay, JSON information. Is this okay? It is asking. I'm telling yes. Fine. Now what it will do, it will actually create this package.json. Yeah, that I have told already. Internally it is not, it is nothing but generating this package.json. Now what is this package.json? Package.json is nothing but a file that contains the project related information. If we use any external library later, okay, in higher cases, in higher level, we will use, if required, external library, then that information also will be included here. Okay, one more thing that is very disgusting for me, that means whenever I want to zoom the text, I want control and scroll up, it is not happening. So what I can do, go to settings, go to settings, here you search for scroll option and control, and by pressing control and mouse wheel, where is that option? Or let me search mouse wheel. Yeah, mouse wheel zoom. So I'm just checking this option, and now you see control. Yeah, fine. So the text is visible. Okay, now you can close the terminal. You can close the terminal. Okay, now some basic fundamental that you have to understand, that is, in any project, generally the project structure is convention. Okay, you have to follow the convention. We have two folders here, public folder and we have src folder. Fine, we have public folder, we have src folder. What we will do inside these folders, inside these folders we will place several files. Like in the public, I'm going to place index.html. Fine. Inside src I'm going to write index.js, like this. So what I'm going to do, actually inside the public all the contents are what, static. all the contents are static. That means it is already generated. Browser will show this. And inside src, all the contents like images, okay, any script like this information will be placed src. Okay, so sometimes some people call some static information is there in the public and dynamic information is there in src. Actually what will happen whenever browser will show some content, that if the content is not generated by the browser itself, it will search in the src. Okay, but remember this complete application will be one static application. Now inside static there is static component, dynamic component. Now what I am telling, actually application is static means all the processing will happen in your browser. Okay, so all the processing logic is written inside this project. Now inside this processing logic, what I am telling is like this html file, whenever browser will show this html file, at that time if any content required to be shown like image, that image will be placed inside src. Enough. Now let me show you one thing. Inside index.html, if I just give exclamation, it will give this snippet. Okay, in the VS Code, what I'm going to shift one exclamation, press enter, you are getting this complete coding snippet. Fine. One more thing, I want to um, make this entire project structure good looking. That's why I'm going to use one what is it, extension, one extension. That extension name is material icon. I love this. Okay, we will get some beautiful icon. I hope it is installed. Set file icon, material icon. Yeah, can you see this? My workspace icon, public is given one icon, src given one icon. Okay, the files are beautiful icons. Okay, one more extension that we need here, that is live server. Okay, live server, what it will do, very soon I am going to show you. Okay, now in this there are two live server. Remember this first live server, how to distinguish this? See the publisher Ritik there something, you have to install this. Okay, I have seen some people, for some people the live server is not working. If really it is not working, then just contact with me, I am going to give you the solve. First, you what you do, instead of installing the first live server, you try with the second live server. Okay, if the second is also not working, just contact with me. How to contact? How to contact? I have my email id. Okay, I have my email id, you can contact to me by email id. Okay, orno dot sorry, orno manna dot boolean @gmail.com. Or else any other, or else what you can do is go to our website, boolean. Here you will get one option for contact. Okay, you will get this option for contact, or yes, contact. Here you give your name, email id, your query, and elaborately discuss your query, then submit it. We will get notification and our team will contact, or myself will contact. By the way, if any problem you face, just contact in this way. uh, okay, so this extensor also I have installed. Now in this index.html, just see in the title I am writing the application name. Application name is what? Mini expense monitor or upright budget app, whatever. And in the body I'm just giving a span. Hi, this is your budget monitoring app. Fine. Just to save this. Now how to see this in the browser? How to see this in the browser? Okay. What you can do, if you are intelligent enough, what you will do, just you will open this public folder and index.html into the browser. Okay. If you are intelligent enough, you will get this. But what is the problem? Problem is, suppose I am changing some portion of this code. Okay, index.html. I am changing. Enter your after this. Suppose this is not span. This is heading 2, and after this, I am uh, writing one field. Suppose input text. What is it? Input text. Yeah, here. This is input. Fine. Before this, I am giving one label. In this label, what I am going to do, I am writing enter the category. Okay. Now another label and input. Here I am writing enter the amount you paid. Okay, you paid. Now save this. Now go back to the browser. Can you see it is not automatically changing? If you reload, obviously it will change now. But what I don't want to do this repeatedly. Automatically, whenever I am changing this, it get the effect here in the browser. That's why instead of opening this index.html from the browser, from the file explorer, then in the browser directly, after installing the live server extension, you will get this go live option. Can you see go live option? Okay. If you are not able to see, just notice here we have one go live option at the bottom right corner. Fine. Click on this go live. It may ask some permission. You can ignore or you can give allow access, no problem. I am going to ignore. Now you can see at the browser URL, it is no longer your file path. Instead, it is some IP address colon port address. Okay, that means now actually what we are going to do, we are viewing or we are getting the flavor of our application just like it is hosted on the cloud platform. Okay, you know this is what D&D CodeCamp, that means development deployment. So after going to develop, I am going to show you how to deploy the application so that I can give you one URL and you can open that URL in anywhere in the world, you will get your application. So this is the same thing. By using this go live or live server extension, you are getting the same flavor. Okay, now you can see it is no longer related to your local file system location. Okay, actually internally it is using the same your internal files, but it is hosted like not a local file. Okay, this is a very popular approach at development perspective. Whenever you will go to any industry, they are going to check this type of application in the local system, and they are going to use the similar type of software. Okay, if they are not using live server, definitely they are using some different extension, or the industry provides some their platform specific extension. Yes or not? Now this is the thing. Okay. Now this is some basic idea. Obviously, whenever we are developing any application, any project, you must have some basic knowledge on this technology. Okay, but what I'm going to do in this code camp or boot camp, whatever, whatever the information required, that only I am going to pass. That means what will happen? That means if you don't know HTML, no need to understand HTML in depth. Just see what I'm going to do and what I'm writing for that, what is happening in this way. That means it is just you use first, then understand, like this type of concept. Okay, so you see what I'm writing, and for that, what the effect is going on in the browser or anything that is happening. Fine. Now, this is some basic idea that I have given, that is how this project structure is happening. Okay, this index.html, what is the purpose? Have you noticed? Just clicking on the go live, it is automatically opening this index.html. Why? That first statement I have given you, that public src, this is what? This is a convention. You have to mention this project structure. Then inside public, you have index.html. Why index.html? Because this is a convention. What will happen when any uh, server you are using, any cloud platform you are using, by default, they are searching for public index.html file. Okay, inside the project public folder, then inside the folder index.html file by default. Obviously you can change the configuration, but default configuration is what? It will search for public and index.html file. Internally it will think what? That this is the first page, this is the landing page of your application. That's why you can say that always the browser execution starts from, or view starts from index.html. You can say later if you learn React, there you will understand the depth knowledge. Okay, or if you learn JavaScript in depth, you will learn the concept in depth, that why it is happening. Actually internally, if you go to React, internally everything is rendered on the index.html like this. If you are beginner, you may think like, really, how it is happening? Boss, at this moment you cannot understand that. If you have knowledge enough in depth JavaScript, then only you will understand. In React, actually what happened, everything that you can see in the browser is actually nothing but the same index.html file, like our Boolean website. You see the Boolean website, you are thinking what, changing the page, but internally the same index.html file like this. By the way, at this moment, this is some basic idea. Now we are going to use our best friend. Who is that? Our best friend AI tool. Yeah, everything will be free. Development, deployment, everything will be free. Whenever I'm going to show you that thing, everything will be free. Okay, at this moment, you have not to pay a single penny. Now, first of all, I have to go to chatgpt.com. ChatGPT. Yeah, chatgpt.com. I don't have any account, so I have to create one account. Because if we don't create, what will happen? The history it will not store. Okay, sign in with Google, no problem. This is not my actual birthday. Remember, guys. Um, ChatGPT will not verify. Yes or not? We're all set. Just changing the theme. I just changed. Want to change the theme to dark. Appearance dark. Yeah. Now I am looking like a coder. So now let's start the chatting with ChatGPT. Now how I can give the information? First, what I have to do, I have to give the information, what I have to do, I want to do. Then it will give the files, codes one by one like this. Okay. Now that's why I am giving this. Okay. So I'm telling I want to build one application, paste this, or one project named this mini expense monitor or upline budget app by using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript in local machine. Okay, if you don't tell in this way, what will happen? ChatGPT will think like we have the front end and back end also. Okay, so that's why we have to tell the context correctly. If ChatGPT cannot understand the context, no matter you are using ChatGPT or any other LLM, if it does not understand the context, it will not give the response properly. So I want to build one project named this by using only HTML, CSS, JS in local machine. It should have the features like it should have the features: add expense, filter by category, total calculation, color coded list, pie chart made with pure CSS. Yeah, fine. Now let's start from very beginning. Okay, very beginning. Spelling mistake. Okay, let's start from very beginning. I just created uh, public and src folder, and npm init is also done. Okay, let's see what is the response. Can you see? It is suggesting what inside public index.html. I have not told that inside public I have created already index.html, but ChatGPT is suggesting this. Why? Because already I told you this is the basic funda. Okay. Okay. Now see, inside src it is telling what? Create style folder, JS folder, data folder. Fine. I am going to do this one by one. I'm just following this. Okay. Inside src I have to create styles. Inside src again I have to create JS folder and anything else, data folder. Okay, inside src I'm creating data folder. Fine. Now inside styles again style.css. Inside JS we have app.js. Inside data we have sample.json. Okay, initially you may think what I am going to do. If I don't know, then also I am teaching you how this is possible. That means, is it a hilarious thing? Actually, after some time you will understand, even if you follow the ChatGPT completely, and if you don't have some basic idea, you cannot generate the entire application. Okay, that's why actually AI cannot replace the human. Okay, you can reduce your effort by using AI. Okay, if you are not using AI, then someone else will use. They will gain some money from the industry. They will gain more projects. Then why you are not using AI? You have to learn how to AI the how to use the AI properly. Okay, now you see step 2. It is giving some basic index.html skeleton. Okay, I am going to completely copy this, okay, and paste in the index.html. Save this. Now create base css. Now this is also written that inside src styles style.css put this. Okay, keep this inside style.css. Fine. Now step 4, inside src.js app.js create this. Fine. And next, would you like to like this? Okay, fine. Now let's see up to this what he has done. Save this and save this. Fine. And okay, now go to browser. Automatically effect is taken. Yeah, effect is taken. Okay, what he is doing, expense title. Um, let me give like fuel petrol. Okay, amount is what? Suppose 210 rupees, and then it is food, transport, shopping, other. Okay, automatically ChatGPT given these uh, options for the drop down. Okay, I am in this at this moment. What I have to do? Other, add this. Fine, very good. Now another expense. So it is suppose biryani. Okay, amount is suppose 350. It is food. Fine, add expense. Okay, very good. Now another expense. What we have more? Transport and shopping. Okay, now shopping is like I want to give what? Shopping. Suppose Lee Cooper, or it will be more expensive. Suppose um, pantaloons. Okay, pantaloons. So amount is like 1500. Okay, so it is shopping. Add this. So it is working, but the pie chart is not proper. Yes or not? Pie chart is not proper till now. Now, can I really filter this? Food, yeah. Transport, shopping, yeah, yeah, possible. So filtering is working properly. Now go back to the code. What he has done, ChatGPT has done. Let's understand this. Okay, without understanding, you cannot modify now. So I have to tell to the ChatGPT now change this portion, do in this way, in this. Okay, now you see linking the CSS here. Okay, inside head tag, HTML head tag, you have to link the CSS. Give the proper location. ChatGPT also mentioned this dot slash. That means relative path. Okay, with respect to index.html, where is actually the CSS file? Okay, now inside this container, mini expense monitor, this is the heading, this is the form ID, this is the filter, this is total. This total is generated automatically when filter is changed. So definitely there is some listener should be there should be some listener. Yeah, update total. Now this using the JavaScript will be more uh, difficult compared to HTML and CSS. Okay, so what I want to configure my JavaScript in my way. Okay, that means don't write in this way. I want to write the JavaScript in my way. What that means I want to tell the approach. if possible, now I will share this prompt. That means I will share this complete chat, okay, if possible. But I highly recommend everyone that don't take my prompts directly. You give your own prompt. That means obviously you take the help of my prompt, but you give your own prompt and you generate uh, the view differently. That means obviously the functionalities will be same with uh, that means I have the functionalities, you have the functionalities, that will be same, but you will get a different view, and that is actually I want. That means you have learned how to use the ChatGPT or how to use the LLM. Fine. Now, first of all, what I want, see, this application is perfect for mobile application. Okay, go to developer option and you see it is perfect for mobile. Yeah, can you see the view is perfect? But for desktop, can you see it is just coming and it's coming in small. Fine. So the thing is, later we will talk about the mobile view and desktop view. At this moment we want to focus to desktop view. Okay, later in advanced, by using advanced CSS, we can give some media query, and then uh, different view for mobile, different view for desktop, different for TV, different for iPad, like this we can set. But at this moment, initially, every project must starts with the desktop view. Okay, that is why already I have told you ChatGPT cannot replace human. I have to explicitly say that first, first, uh, the interface, the interface should be properly set for desktop. That means cover, or better use the entire screen. Use the entire screen. Okay. Next, what I want the change. Don't send this at this moment. Sorry. Okay. Now, second, I want what is the next change I need? The spacing. Can you see the button? Can you see the button and this label input field? These are there is no space in between. So maintain the spacing. Maintain the spacing between HTML components. Fine. Next, what is the change required? Next change is add more category. Okay, so here I am writing add more category. Okay, next, give more beautiful view for table. Sorry, beautiful. Okay, give more beautiful view for table. Next, any other change? Finally, I am going to write one thing. Make the entire UI more professional. And send this. Let's see what are the changes ChatGPT is making for these files. This is updated index.html, automatically generated. That means based on which filters I have not told, but still it is automatically generating some. Okay, this is index.html. I am copying and pasting it here. Okay, now updated style.css. Copy this entire style.css, paste it here. Now I updated app.js. Now save all. Let's see. Yeah, more beautiful. Yes or not? Everybody, can you agree? Now it is more beautiful. Okay, now expense title. Now here I am giving, suppose some short amount is suppose 599. It is in the shopping ad. Next title is what? Next title is I am going to add in entertainment. Okay, some recent movie. Anyone can suggest some recent movie like Kantara. I know it is not very recent, but amount is like suppose book my show 167 anything. Add this. Okay, now another suppose health. So it is like regular checkup, and then amount is suppose 1599. Add expense. Fine. And filter is working or not? Yeah, health is health, entertainment, shopping, all. Yeah, everything is working fine. Now the thing is, it will not store this information. Really? See, I am just closing the tab and again opening in a new tab. Can you say it is not storing the information? So what I have to do, internally whatever data it is handling, please store inside the browser memory. Okay, somebody is telling add the Sayara movie in that entertainment. Okay, in your app you will add that. Okay, because I hope you have spent a lot of money to watch that movie, because so many times you have watched, na? By the way, now the thing is there is so many changes required. You can see it is internally handling some data. What is the data? What is the data? How to actually understand what is the data? See, whenever I am adding anything, so inside, what is the add button? What is the add button? Yeah, here is the add button. So it is what? This form. Now whenever this form is submitted, can you see button type is submit? That means you are clicking on this button means the form is submitted. Fine, the form is submitted. Now what is happening? When the form is submitted, some JavaScript code is running. Now you have to search which JavaScript is running. So this is the form. Can you see document dot get element by ID? It is expense hyphen form. The same ID expense hyphen form is there in the form also. Okay, can you see form ID? Now that means whenever you are writing in the JavaScript document means entire page. Okay, that means at this moment you can understand in this way that index.html is nothing but a document. In this way you can understand. It is not exactly what is happening, but at least you understand. Now document.get element by id means inside the HTML so many components are there, like form is a component, div is a component, but identify the component which has the id of expense hyphen form. What is that? This form tag. Now what it is doing? Now taking the form, entire form, and storing inside this variable. Okay, now you see here form dot add event listener. Add event listener. For submit, call this function. Understood or not? That means form dot add event listener. For submit, call this function. That means whenever the submit event will happen, okay, whenever the submit event will happen, call this function add expense. Now go to this add expense. What it is doing? First it is doing what? E dot prevent default, because there is some default behavior of the HTML form tag. I don't want to go with that. Rather, I want to go with my specific logic. So in my specific logic, first I want to set the title. So this is document how to get the title, document.get element by ID and then value. Okay. So title is also a ID. Can you see title is here ID that, and obviously for that, and it is recommended that you place the ID field as unique always. Actually you can take this ID field for any tag. Okay, for any HTML tag you can keep this ID field, but it is always recommended that don't give duplicate ID for different tag. Okay, that means title is taken here, amount is also taken here, category is also taken here. Okay, now at this moment you just have understood what, by using document you are actually referring to the entire index.html. Then from that you are fetching the particular field data. How? Now that's why you need unique ID. Call this method get element by ID. Inside this you give this name of the ID. Then just by calling dot value you will get the value. Now for amount we know 100% it will be some number. So that's why internally it is converting the value into the number. How to convert the value into the number? There are so many ways in the JavaScript. At this moment it is using number, some predefined class is there. Okay, number is a class. In here it is class. So number class, inside the constructor it is giving the value in this way. Later we will learn in depth JavaScript, but at this moment this is happening, that's why I'm telling. Then it is identifying the category. So title, amount, category. Now expenses dot push and provide this as an object. Why this is object? Because internally it is nothing but title colon then title value, amount colon amount value, category colon category value. Later I am going to show you in the next session. I am going to show you that also, that internally it is really that. It is internally converting that into object and storing into the expenses. Now what is this expenses? Initially at the first level, can you see it is one array. Expenses is what? It is an array. It is an array. Now push is a method for the array. Can you see how easy it is to define one array in the JavaScript? Just let expense is equal to this box. Okay, sometimes some people call box or third bracket open close. Now just by doing this you will get the array methods. Okay, so expense.push is a method. By using this you can store or you can add one object inside the array. Then form.reset, that means any data present inside the form will be cleared. Okay, then render is another function. What it is doing? Render is actually generating the table, it is updating the table. Okay, you can see this logic, but at this moment it is not required to look into the logic. In the upcoming session, whenever to look into the logic, I am definitely going to tell you how this render function is working. Inside the render function, another function update total it is calling. Then update total is actually creating or generating the sum of the filtered expenses. Okay, some people is asking what is the difference between ID and class. So actually you can use both ID and class for CSS and JavaScript both. But whenever you are handling the CSS and JavaScript both, generally what we can do, what we prefer, I prefer as a industry experience, that ID, please use this ID in the JavaScript and class in the CSS. That means my personal opinion. Okay, so please use the ID in the JavaScript, CSS in the class in the CSS. But it is not a rule. Okay, it is not a rule. Now the thing is, you can keep duplicate class names for different HTML tag, but it is not recommended to keep the same value for IDs. Okay, you cannot keep duplicate IDs, but you can keep duplicate classes. That means suppose here I hope I will get some button. Where is the button? Yeah, you see this div tag class is what? Input hyphen group. Can you see it is given to all the div tag? Yes or not? Why? Because this input group class name is internally used by style.css. Now inside the style.css, I am defining what will be the style for this particular class. Now the same style is applicable for these three div. So I have kept the same class name for these three div. Understood? But in JavaScript, uniquely I want to identify the elements. So that's why I'm going for ID. With respect to HTML, it is always recommended that please keep the ID field as unique, and you can keep the class duplicate. Okay. So in this session, what we have done, first of all, we have taken help of the ChatGPT. Everything, whatever we have done, maximum effort given by ChatGPT. Okay, if I design this entire project by my hand, obviously I can design from scratch. I can write everything. First of all, it will take long, and second thing is, if we don't use AI, we will be one pointless. That means other people are using, why we cannot use? There is no bad. But if you are not understanding the logic and then using the ChatGPT code, then it will be bad. That's why uh, the first, before changing anything, first I have given you the explanation how actually whenever you are clicking the button internally, it is calling the logic. Okay, in the next session I am going to convert the HTML into some another version. That means I prefer in a different, that means in the form I am not going to write in this way. That means add event listener. What I am going to do, in the form ID I am writing on submit, then I am calling the then I am giving the function name directly, add expense, and here I am passing the event. Then what will happen? Then the same thing, exactly same thing what we have, what it is done here, get element by ID, then it is adding the listener, event listener here. Now instead of doing these two line, I am doing this in a single line. Okay, now obviously it has pros and cons. Yeah, it has pros and cons, but what it will do, just by looking into the form you can understand, okay, this method is called. Yes or not? So in this way you can modify the code, and I am telling this because I know the concept. Okay, if you write in this way on submit, in the tag itself you are writing, you are embedding this here, then in that way you have not to find, because whenever we are handling large project, in this way we have to find actually which method is called, which function is called. That will be very difficult. So on submit is this, that means okay, no problem, go to this function, go to the JS and search for this function. But if this line is not there, it is very difficult to debug the code actually which method is called, sorry, which function is called. Fine. So I hope this is actually good for day 2 only. That means we have started the coding and we have developed this much, so it is better. Okay, in the next session we will enhance the JavaScript. We are going to focus, we are going to strengthen in the JavaScript, and we are going to store the information in the browser itself. Okay, browser itself has so many memory. Do you want to see? Open the browser inspect window, then here go to the application, It has so many storages. Can you see one storage tab? First there is applications tab, then storage tab. Inside the storage, can you see so many type of storage? Local storage, session storage, extension storage, index db. Yeah, a separate db is provided, database. Cookie storage is there. Okay, and eventually these all are not same for all browser. Some storages are same, like local storage, session storage, cookies are standard. Okay, so you can use these three storage depending on the requirement. Obviously purpose of these storages are different. Okay, so in the next session I'm going to give you a quick review of these storages. Okay, when to use what. Actually, do you know, whenever you are opening the google.co.in or Google, actually, if you have signed your account earlier, you can see this account is already logged in. Again, you have not to click on the sign in button, and you have not to give the password again. So why it is happening? If you open the inspect window here, then go to application. If you open the cookie, you will get all this information. There are so many cookies. Because of these cookies only, it is internally holding that credential. Okay, every time internally it is signing. Yeah, it is correct. Internally, whenever you are opening the Google, it is actually signing. You are not doing it by yourself, so that is another thing. But your browser automatically going to the Google server, providing a credential, and Google server is telling, okay, you are already signed in, so no problem. That is actually happening automatically. Okay, the similar type of thing we are going to implement here. Whenever we are opening this application or URL in the browser, first it will check some data is present or not. If the data is present, that means earlier you have saved something, so that data will be visualized here. That is the thing. Fine. So the next session will be more interesting, I hope. Okay, and in the next session we are not going to depend on the chat gpt completely. Okay, we have to write some our own code, because ChatGPT cannot do that, and you will see that. Fine. So I'm closing, or I'm ending the session here, but I am opening the forum for question. If you have any question, you can immediately ask. Okay, I'm still here for 10 more minutes. If you have any question, you can ask. And yes, guys, there is my, yes, this is my email ID. You can contact to me personally, or you can go to website and provide your query, no problem. And I will try to share this complete workspace at the end of the bootcamp. Okay, I will try to share. And I'm trying to take the session for the weekend only, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, because I am available for some weekdays, but the thing is, our admin team may not be available for streaming to YouTube. That's why I hope this is good for everyone to uh, go for the weekend boot camp. Okay, thank you everyone.